Man, I even put a video up on here for a long time because every video I put up gets struck. But I gotta say, this is just beyond, man. Now, if you sell over $600 a year on any kind of platform, eBay, Amazon, on down the list, I'm sure they'll apply this to Facebook Marketplace. They just probably won't apply it quite as heavily at first, but it'll get there too. Now, if you sell over $600 a year, you got to pay taxes. Give me a fucking break. Just for those of you that aren't aware, the previous private seller threshold was $20,000 pretty much for most of those platforms. And then a couple years ago, they started doing this bullshit where if you sold something out of state or in state, then you had to pay taxes if it was from a corporation or something. Then it was just you got to pay fucking sales tax on everything. So there's only one tax on it, the sales tax, but still I had to get added on. That was bullshit. That was a couple years ago because they can't get enough money at the rate that they're giving it away. Now, if you sell over $600, you got to pay fucking taxes. Now, I've heard this also at local fairs, like thrift market type shit, other kind of shows that they do, where there's just basically tables set up, people selling whatever it is, and it's all cash. I mean, farmers market, fairs, etc. All this. Now I've heard that they've been doing it at these too. They've been going around handing out all the vendors their tax forms and telling them that they have to sign or put down their social security number and put down their sales. So this isn't just on the internet. For those of you that aren't aware, they're trying to do this everywhere. And it's because, again, they can't pull enough money in at the rate at which they want to fucking give it out and give it to their friends and to other people that aren't even in this country and every other fucking thing. So, I read the thing that one of these sites posted that said, now you're going to have to get a 1099 form and start claiming this. And it said, but we can't give you tax advice, but if you can prove that you bought something for less than you're selling it for, then you're not going to have to pay tax on it. So essentially that means that if you if you still have the original receipt, or you can make an original receipt for something, and I don't know what they'll accept for receipts. I'm sure that's going to get real strict too, or else people just make handwritten receipt that says, I sold this for $500. Well, I originally paid $600 for it, therefore it's a loss, and I shouldn't have to pay anything. So I'm sure it'll only be a matter of time until they have fucking rules and regulations with how strict they are with the receipts. Because basically, if you're not going to be liable for that money in sales or income tax, then the person who originally sold it to you better have a receipt that shows that at some point along the chain they've got a business number, or they were doing a 1099 and paid income tax on it, right? But more importantly from this, I'm sorry, there's some noise outside. More importantly from this, though, is that if you can prove that you paid more, right? So what they really want, as much as they want the money, believe me, they want the money. They're going to take as much money as they can get. But for people who are smart enough or ingenuitive enough, or who are only selling one or two things on eBay or Amazon or Facebook Marketplace, or for somebody who goes to one of those fairs and has a table and only does it one time because they got a couple of things to sell and they actually get lucky enough and manage to sell all of it. For those people that would claim, hey, I took a loss on this, right? I spent this much money, only sold it for this much. What they really want is they want your name and your social security number, because they want to restrict people's access to fucking cash. They want to do everything they can to get rid of cash. This is all part of the same thing. This is all part. I can't really articulate this because I'm going to put this video on more than one platform. So for I can't articulate what, but you know what it is. It's part of this. It's the same fucking thing. They just want your name, your information, and they want to know everything about you. They want to know every dollar you spend, where you spend it, what city you're in, what rate you spend it at. They want to know everything. They want every piece of information. I mean, their servers and, their folder system, right? Like when you got stuff on your computer, you have like a folder system for organization, just like you'd have in a file cabinet, and not for your folder. Their folder system, their fucking servers full of personal data, Apple, Google, all these companies, the fucking NSA, their system for organizing this data must be fucking incredible, because it would be a data overload for any normal person, you think about what it would take to classify and categorize all of that data and sift through all of the useless stuff. But you want to, because what they want to do is they want to build profiles on people. Because in the very end, it's about targeted advertising and marketing, so they can try to force stuff or sell stuff to you based on, they want to be predictive. They want to create algorithms for predictive shopping and shit like that because, they want you to be fucking fat, lazy, live in the pods, own nothing, you'll rent, eat the bugs and like it, etc. I can't say no more about it, but you understand what I'm talking about. That's what they want. And this is all part of that. And it's fucking it's infuriating and it's fucking disgusting. And when Congress decided to vote on this and say this is a good idea, do you think that this has popular support from people across the country? I don't support this. Do you support this? Do you really support this? I mean, think about it. Think about all your neighbors, your friends, people you know, and they really just break it down to basically, yeah, you should have to pay tax on every single thing that you sell, even if you sell it secondhand at a garage sale. Do you think people agree with that? Do you think the representatives in the Senate and the House are representing the needs, desires, wants, political opinions, personal opinions of the people? Do you really believe that? Because when they're not doing that, they're not supposed to continue to stay there. At the end of their cycle, they're supposed to get voted out. Or if they do something really heinous, and I would consider this really fucking heinous, if they do something really heinous, they're supposed to be able to be taken out before their cycle's over and replaced with somebody else, either by a succession line or by a special election. Is that possible in this country? Is that fucking possible in this country? Because if it isn't, what's the alternative?